Guys, I am obsessed with this case, the Wendi Adelson, Donna Adelson, Charlie Adelson case. And in this little segment, she's caught completely contradicting herself about who does and does not like Danny Markel, who is her ex-husband, who was shot and killed by a hired hitman, hired by her brother Charlie and her mother, allegedly, Donna Adelson. So listen to this.
Admit that my brother made a tasteless joke repeatedly about buying me a TV because it was cheaper than hiring a hitman.
But then someone did hire a hitman who did kill Dan Markel, right?
Yes, that happened.
It was part of the plot to kill your ex for you to have plausible deniability or to know very little about it.
I was not involved in any plot to kill Danny.
Were you shielded from the plot because, I don't know, you couldn't be trusted to keep a secret?
I was not involved in any plot to kill Danny.
Why did you tell investigator Isom in your law enforcement interview that you were worried the police, or you were worried, I guess, in the police car on the way to be interviewed, that you might be considered a suspect?
Because I couldn't think of anything bad going on in his life other than the divorce. And
Did you hear that? She couldn't think of anything bad in his life going on other than the divorce. So nothing bad was going on. Nobody was hating him other than her divorce with this man and her family's involvement in the whole thing. So we heard that, right? She couldn't think of anything else. I'd rewind it, but this phone is so bad it doesn't rewind. But we just heard that. She said she couldn't think of anybody else. There was any other problems in Danny's life except for the divorce. Now listen.
the ex-wife is a suspect.
Were you treated as a suspect?
I was not.
But you mentioned 9 times in your law enforcement interview being a suspect, didn't you?
I did, yes.
When you were approached at the restaurant, you weren't yet told that this was a shooting, were you?
I was not.
You were only told something happened with your ex-husband.
I don't even know if I was told that. I was very scared something happened to my kids, and that's why law enforcement was there, and they wouldn't tell me what was going on.
But they did reassure you that the kids were fine. You
They told me that law enforcement officers were with the children, which terrified me because I didn't know why my children would need law enforcement officers.
So you didn't know what this was about at all when you were in the police car?
In the car, they told me.
Okay, in the car they told you what?
They said, your ex-husband has been shot.
Okay. So that you learned that information prior to getting into the interview room?
Yes.
And that was Donna, the mother. That they call her this controlling, meddling matriarch who overly involves herself in her kids' lives. And to hire a hitman is beyond.
Interview with law enforcement, did you suggest that your parents are people who may have been angry enough to kill Dan Markel?
I suggested a lot of people who could have been angry enough to kill Danny.
Now, that's what I mean. She says, I suggested a lot of people. But just 2 seconds ago, she said that she couldn't think of anything that was wrong in his world except for this divorce. So only she was hating Danny and her family, Charlie and the mother, and probably the father. But, and this guy, Danny Markel, he was, I think he was very highly respected. He was super smart. One of his close friends said he could come off as arrogant and probably dominating in a way. He did not want to get a divorce from Wendi, the mother of his 2 kids, and he was very into his kids. But he did get controlling with, I guess, in a way, his Orthodox beliefs in his Jewish religion that they couldn't eat. They had to eat according to the hardcore stuff, like no meat and no dairy combined, so they couldn't have a cheeseburger, things like that.
Were some of the people my parents?
Yes.
But you said in the interview that you didn't think they were capable of it, didn't you?
I did.
If your mom wasn't capable of it, did she have anyone that she could enlist to assist her?
I don't know.
So this is the Donna... the Donna Adelson case. The brother has already been convicted 2 years prior to this in 2023. And then I guess she and her mother had a falling out, and Charlie was convicted, and he did go to prison for life. and he's miserable because he had quite a fun, fancy schmancy life. But he too could really be obnoxious, I think, and according to his many girlfriends, super duper narcissistic. But the whole story is just, it's very sick and sordid, but I'm very fascinated by it because of the characters and how ordinary they seem, and how this regular family hired a hitman. I mean, you guys gotta get into it. This is the Wendi Adelson, Donna and Charlie Adelson case. And Wendi walks free while her mother and brother are imprisoned. And so is the girlfriend who organized the whole thing. And so are the two hitmen, including the one that actually pulled the trigger and the other one that drove the car. They're all imprisoned for life. It's one of them made a deal. So maybe he gets out in 30 years. And he ratted out the other guy. And the whole story is just beyond. You got to get into it. I mean, I'm obsessed with it, and it's a really, really good distraction. But it's really true, and it's horrific. But it's so interesting. It's all these lawyers and dentists in Miami and Tallahassee, and there's so many layers to this story. It's really got me gripped. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Love you, and sub up to this channel. I'll put it in the link. Love you.